Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Brotoys Light Warrior, which is, in all actuality, YOSHIMITSU from Tekken or Soul Calibur. This is an interesting thing because as far as I can tell, there is no official connection to the person who designed this version of YOSHIMITSU. He's a famous 3D modeler, 3D sculptor. He worked on like God of War, the old man Kratos. He's done all kinds of things, and he designed this version of YOSHIMITSU, sold some statues and things. And as far as I can tell, these guys ripped off his design. I don't know if they have some sort of official connection. I don't think so because it's not listed anywhere, but that's where this look came from as far as I can tell. So that's kind of unfortunate that somebody's just original artwork got ripped off to turn into an action figure. However, it is a really good design, so we get a cool action figure out of it. But is it any good? Well, I'm going to review it as I would review anything else, and I'll tell you what's good and bad because there is both. We have some good and some bad. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. Looks like probably AI, an AI version of the character right there in all kinds of crazy colors. Some cloud patterning, and then this kind of stuff here. I love that there's a copyright. For friggin' what? The logo? That'd be a trademark. So what is... I don't know. What is the copyright on? I'm so curious what the copyright is for. Yeah, packaging is... maybe not the best we've seen, but here he is. He is advertised, by the way, as a 1/12 scale figure. He is not, by the way, a 1/12 scale figure. Here he is up against Darwin, towering over him. Let's see if he fits in with the Storm figures, because that would make sense. Because as of right now, we don't really have any Soul Calibur characters, any figures. He's even taller. Like, Mitsurugi shouldn't be that tall anyway, I guess. But he's pretty damn tall. I don't think YOSHIMITSU is supposed to be humongous. Maybe he's tall. I don't think he is. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he could go in with Storm's Tekken stuff if you wanted, but this styling definitely suits Soul Calibur more than Tekken, I would say. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Question of the day. What do you guys think about this look for YOSHIMITSU? What collection is it supposed to go with? Or is it supposed to just stand by itself being so damn big? I don't know. Alright, he stands officially at 19.8 centimeters, give or take. And that's going to be about 7 3/4. He's got some real size to him, so that's unfortunate because I wanted him to be 1/12 scale. But actually, I don't mind him fitting in with Storm, but he's even too big for that, like I just said. So, yeah, why did I want 1/12 scale? For this, I would rather he fit in with the Storm Soul Calibur. So we're closer, but definitely not what is advertised. Anyway, there's a ton of detail in this guy. He looks really, really good, and I have a feeling that's why a lot of people are saying it's such a good action figure. It is a good action figure in a lot of ways, but there are some things that definitely need some work, and we're going to talk about all of that. But yeah, he looks really nice overall. Very, very good looking. I think they stretched him a little too much. He seems very lanky. Like, his arms are super long. So they could have easily made him fit the size while being like this size figure, but proper scale. Like, just shrink his arms a little bit, shrink his legs a little bit, and you're done. But yeah, he looks really good. This is a mask as far as I'm aware. The guy who designed this, I'm pretty sure designed this to be a mask, and they made it an opening mouth, which is weird. But it's YOSHIMITSU, so he could be an alien, he could be a robot, he could be all kinds of different things, so whatever. So here, let's get into the rest of the aesthetic. The thing that I hate the most about this is the way the shroud part is connected to his head. It doesn't sit properly. It should be like... more like that, closer to that, so that it hangs down rather than out and back and flat. So you have to kind of tuck it in. It gets a little weird. He just has no head back there. So that's one of the things that drives me nuts about this guy. He has just no head. It's just the shroud, and it doesn't cover the way it should. But you can deal with that. But otherwise, yeah, he looks pretty good. The little thingies up here are not glued on straight on mine, but otherwise, it's really, really sharp looking for sure. Washes and whatnot going on. Yeah, it looks really nice. So aesthetically speaking, I'm still going to go like 9 out of 10. It looks really, really good. Now, as far as accessories go, you don't get a ton of hands, but a decent spread. That's all right. You get his 2 swords, the 1 katana, and then probably, I guess I would call that like a wakizashi. So yeah, 2 swords. They are metal, and they look really cool. Fitting the scabbards, at least the black one, into his belt thingy, not very easy. I haven't been able to do it. I haven't heated it up yet, but you're probably going to have to heat those to get them in. But you do get the 2 swords. Those are awesome. You get 2 flame effects and 2 green swooshies. Now, the interesting thing about the swords being that they're 2 different sizes, the flame effects are still just the same size. So once you put that on, you don't have a small sword, you have 2 long swords, or at least a flame effect with a gap. Whatever, it looks okay still. And then the green swooshies can go on either sword because they don't cover the whole blade, but they work. Those are nice. I like those effect parts. And then you get this display stand, which I just don't need him to be lifted up an inch off the ground with a big fat ugly base. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and I don't like it, it's a thing though, they made the top just barely translucent, and there's a little LED in here. You can put the battery in there and it has the magnet to turn it on, and it just has a little green glowy dot. I can't show it to you because it barely lights up. I don't get it. Why? Like, it'll probably cost them $1, but that's super weird. Make the whole thing glow or something. That would be cool. Otherwise, just don't bother. I don't like the base. But accessory-wise, I'll go 8 out of 10. That's a decent enough spread. I'm happy enough with that. Okay, now let's see if it can pose. And this is where we kind of come into some problems here for this guy. It has a few issues which really, really hold it back. All right, so let's go through this. For the head, like I showed you, the cowl part, the shroud part is soft and flexible. The head moves around pretty well. It's nothing great. I'd like to see a little bit more, honestly. We have double ball pegs at the top and probably a single in the bottom of the neck. It's good enough. But YOSHIMITSU gets in some weird poses, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. Have a little bit more range. The way they connected the shoulder pads is strange. Let me brighten it up a little bit for you. And they're just hanging there and flexible. So they kind of get in the way, and they don't move in good ways with the arms. They just flex around. So raising the arms out to the side, that's no problem. Bringing the arms forward, it's not bad. It's just, I'd much rather have it rotate with the arm rather than just flex around. But it works, and you can bring his arm across his chest pretty nicely, so that's good. His arms work pretty well. They have a huge amount of play in there. If you go too high up, though, it makes this stick out, and that's a little bit weird. But it does make his arms look less less long. They're way long. So if you put them in the middle or drop them down, they're really long. So you can just mess with that if you want to. But they do have good range. Not as much forward and back, but as you just saw, it still works. That's fine. You get a bicep swivel, of course. It actually swivels underneath the bicep. So you can rotate at the elbow if you want. Decent range here. That's pretty good. No real issues, decent enough looking. The arms work pretty well, I have to say. I'm not upset with the arms. The hands are very seated inside the armor, so even though you get articulation in there, you're not doing a whole lot of movement. This flexes, but there's still just not much for it to do, especially down here. Not being flexible, that's kind of an issue, but realistically, you don't need to use wrist joints that much, so I think I can let that slide. For the torso, this moves around pretty well. These dangle, and it does get kind of gappy, but you still get good range for the torso. You're probably thinking, well, what's wrong with the articulation? So far, it all looks pretty good. It is so far. You'll see. Yeah, his torso works pretty well. Leaning back is questionable, but this is a floaty piece, so you can adjust it. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Side to side works. Having these guys be so low hanging, they get in the way, but you can deal with it. I hate that the mouth keeps opening up. So yeah, it's a little cumbersome, but that's to be expected with this kind of design. So yeah, his torso works pretty well. Now for this, that comes off if you want. And then he's got his little diaper thing, which we're not going to worry about. This is all flexible stuff. It's all connected though, so it's not as movable as you might want it to be, but it's certainly enough. And like I said, it does come off if you want to take that off for like some crazy poses. I guess you could do that, but I'll show you the hips. They are very basic, just ball socket hips in there, which I'm fine with. Not the most range, even with the stuff off. The splits are okay, but going forward, we do bump into things. So yeah, it could be better. The hips are not great. They do work, but let's put this back on and I'll show you. This might be the first time I've ever seen plastic parts Velcroed onto an action figure. I've seen some Velcro in clothing before. All right, so let's see, what can we do with those hips? I think it's still gonna, it just doesn't have the best range in the hips, but yeah, they still function with the armor on, so that'll be fine. The knees, not bad. Knees work, that's fine. His legs are really long. Oh, but here's the thing, it's one piece of articulation that really hurts this figure. The good news is, I hate that mouth. I hate the mouth opening up. The good news is there's an easy fix for this if you're willing to do it. And do it at your own risk. I'm not saying you should, but you could. The ankles below, all right, they go back okay, that's fine. But going forward, that is it. It's like, what the heck, man? We want it to pose, right? If you can't pose an ankle, you can't pose the whole leg. And if you can't pose the whole leg, you might as well not pose the whole body. So ankles are such an important feature on an action figure that having them go all the way back is great, but not being able to go forward, and then the ankle rocker is also ridiculously limited. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. The toe hinge, let's do that before I talk about the fix. The toe hinge is actually pretty good. It's not maybe perfect, but it'll work. It'll definitely serve its purpose. That's fine. Now, the good news is, if you look at this guy's design, I'm sure you already saw it, you can just cut out that dark part down there, just leave the gold, and you'll free up a lot of space, at least for leaning forward. His ankles already look bad, though, and they're going to look worse if you do that, but you'll have more range. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you trim away the gold, because that's going to look bad, so you may not get much more of the ankle rocker out of it, but it will at least get more range going up. Because that dark piece of plastic being in the way there, it's killing the ankle range. So, it depends on how much you want to pose this guy. If you're just going to put him in a hero pose, then just leave it alone, and you'll be fine. But, yeah, the ankles suck. That's really unfortunate. The rest of it works really well. So, two main gripes with, well, I'll rate the articulation first. If I wasn't counting the ankles, it's like an 8.5 or 9, probably. It poses pretty well. Including the ankles, I'm just going to go 7. That's a huge bummer. Why would they missed the ankle out of all things? That's weird. Also, the mouth is super annoying. Okay, so now let me do my finishing thoughts on this guy. If you're going to do hero pose, it's fine. If you are not going to do hero pose, I would recommend you cut that little bit out. It'll be a little bit uglier, but you'll be able to at least pose it some. But yeah, it's a pretty darn good figure. It's just the ankles and the shroud part of the helmet are messed up. Those aren't necessarily huge deals, but they are definitely something that will stand out if you're paying attention. So I have to make my reviews for everybody, not just people who don't care. And I don't mean that offensively. I just mean some people don't care. You could give them a figure that looks really goofy, like objectively, and they still just love it, and that's fine. Do whatever you like. But my reviews are for everybody, so I have to point stuff out. And there are a few issues with this guy. I still think it's a great figure, but it's way too big. Bad ankles, and they messed up the helmet part a little bit. Otherwise, it's really solid. So I'm going to go overall rating. I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10. If the ankles were fixed and the shroud were fixed, that would make a big difference. But yeah, he's gigantic, and those issues are there. So yeah, it's good, but a little bit irritating. Oh, and also not being able to fit the swords in the thing over here. That's kind of irritating as well. So yeah, a few little nagging issues, but generally a really cool figure, and it's going to look freaking good on a shelf. Like, some of Storm's figures look a little weird anyway, and I'd say Mitsurugi is maybe one of them. He's a little stumpy and strange looking, and this guy makes that look like crap. Like, YOSHIMITSU looks really, really good, but he is also the size of an NBA player. So, well, not really, I guess, but yeah, even just right now, I'm having trouble with him standing because his damn feet can't lean forward anymore. So you bend his knees at all, and he just wants to fall over. So yeah, there are some issues, but it is a good figure for sure, and I like it. But them stealing his design, assuming that is the case, that sucks. That sucks big time. That was just his own personal design that he came up with. He sold a few things, like 10 of them or something like that, and now they've copied it, which is really shady in that sense. Like, using an IP is one thing, but stealing someone's exact design is kind of crappy. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.